Thanks for joining us again on Antigua.gov.ag. Today we have three special guests. Colleen Francis, she's the project manager of the EGrip project. Also Desiree Zachariah, country-based specialist, Antigua EGrip project, and Minister of Information, the Honorable Dr. Edmund Mansour. Thank you all for being with us. I'll start with you, Ms. Colleen Francis. What is EGrip and what are the objectives of this project?
Thank you so much for having me on your program. EGrip means Electronic Government for Regional Integration Project. The objective is to improve the efficiency, quality and productivity of public services through the use of an integrated e-government application approach, and we're working with now 6 countries in the OECS, so we'll get economies of scale. So I'm very happy that Antigua has joined the project with the use of CDB funds.
All right, elaborate a bit on the benefits, of course, to the people of the EGrip project.
In terms of e-government, e-government is the provision of government online. And this morning we were speaking with Minister Mansour about even the application of having government services on your mobile phone. So we'll be working with this ministry to improve quality services. So what it will mean is that the government services will be available to persons 24 hours, 7 days a week. Persons will be able to access their information. We're setting the framework under this grant, and we're hoping that the government will be able to implement the specific activities so that when the public utilizes the government services, it will be more efficient, and then they can have cost savings both in terms of financial, not having to go to the physical location, and also in terms of time efficiency. It will take a shorter period of time.
All right, great. Dr. Mansour, tell us about the involvement of the Ministry of Information.
Well, it's really the government of Antigua and Barbuda working in collaboration with the OECS Secretariat through Colleen Francis to leverage on what the EGrip project can offer Antigua and Barbuda, specifically as it relates to, as Colleen is indicating, how the OECS region can improve the delivery of services to its citizenry using ICTs generally. In the case of Antigua and Barbuda, the country-based specialist, Desiree Zachariah, will work with the government to identify those key sectors that we think in the short term we can improve the delivery platforms so that the result to John public will be a more efficient service. So we've been looking at certain areas that we think the public interacts with government on a day-to-day basis in terms of accessing services, and we want to modernize them and improve them so that it is more efficient for government to administer, and in the case of the citizenry, it is easier for them to access those services, easier and hopefully more cost-effective.
All right, now Desiree, you're the country-based specialist, newly appointed country-based specialist for the EGrip project. Tell us about what are some of your roles and responsibilities as the EGrip country-based specialist?
Well, one of my main roles will be the coordinating function to ensure that there is a good cohesion between what is on the ground and what is in what's available regionally. So therefore I'll be working very closely with the Ministry of Information Broadcasting, as well as the REGU, which is the coordinating body in St. Lucia, for which Colleen works. It's to ensure that we all are able to benefit, maximize benefit, because we are talking about economies of scale, and we want to ensure that e-government is available and readily available for Antigua and Barbuda. The Minister has a lot of excellent ideas. Antigua and Barbuda has done quite a bit already, and we want to maximize that.
All right, now Colleen, EGrip has been deployed in, or is being deployed in about 6 countries in the OECS. What are some of the challenges that you've encountered?
In terms of challenges, it has to do with the public service and how the public service works. And so it is a process one has to go through. And when you're implementing e-government solutions, we have to deal with change management in terms of not only the process, doing a process re-engineering, but also the way people think in providing the service as well as utilizing the service. And we have to convince persons that it makes sense to have e-government solutions, because in the long run it reduces administrative and operation costs. For the government, it increases transparency and competition, and then for the general public it makes life easier for them. So it's to convey the benefits. Once we have conveyed the benefits, and also once we have a marriage between the project at the regional level and the national priorities, as Minister is saying, so that we have a practical application of the concepts under the project, I think that people are willing to accept and actively participate. So from the perspective of project management, that is what we bring to the table. We see the challenges as opportunities. We work with the countries to ensure that their priorities are met, and that at the end of the day we add value for the people of the countries. So in this case it will be Antigua and Barbuda.
And we'll be hearing a lot more about the EGrip project, and a lot from your team here, this Desiree Zachariah.
Yes.
But Dr. Mansell, I'll leave the final words with you.
Well, that the government obviously is very excited that the Antigua-based component of EGrip has commenced, firstly with the appointment of Desiree, and secondly with the visit to Antigua by Colleen Francis. This is an 18-month-long project, and I am very hopeful that over the 18-month period that tangible benefits, practicable benefits can accrue to the people of Antigua and Barbuda through this very important project. We will learn a lot from the EGrip project that has already been put into place in the other Caribbean islands, and we too want to consider some new concepts and how government can deliver services to the citizenry. The paramount one, of course, being the potential delivery using mobile technology. How can government offer services to you, Mr. Edgehill, using your mobile phone or your mobile personal assistant device or your mobile gadget, as it were? That is the way of the future, and I think Antigua can play a role in that regard, and time alone will tell. I'm optimistic that we will benefit from this project tremendously, and Antigua will collaborate with the other OECS countries on similar projects. ICTs have a very powerful transformative role. They are transforming societies in a major way. They certainly are transforming economies. We are placing emphasis this year on their transformative role in government, especially how government delivers services to the citizenry.
All right, thank you very much all for sharing your thoughts with us on EGrip.